Amazon's latest AI algorithms are changing how products are discovered and recommended, making it crucial for sellers to optimize their listings for these updates. In this video, you will learn a comprehensive checklist for optimizing your Amazon listings for AI-powered search using ZonGuru, including specific strategies for titles, bullet points, images, and more. And if you want to try ZonGuru tool yourself, you'll find the link below. And you can get 7-day free trial using our link and additional 20% off the subscription plan. So check this out.
Hello, John. Welcome back to Orange Klik YouTube channel. Today we have one very important topic to cover, and that is how to optimize listings further for Cosmo and Rufus on Amazon, because that's something we cannot look past anymore. And you're going to share actually like a checklist we can also follow. So that's why this video will be super practical, and I advise everyone to stick until the very end. But as always, let's first start with your introduction, and also give us a little bit information or background information about ZonGuru and what you're doing in Amazon space for those who have not heard about you yet.
Hey, LISETT, it's always great to be here. I love the support we get from Orange Klik. I'm John Tilley, the founder and CEO of ZonGuru. We've been around in the Amazon space as a technology platform since 2017. And our focus amongst the many tools that we have is around SEO for your Amazon listing. So the heartbeat of your business outside of your product on Amazon is your listing, your PDP. How do we make sure that it's optimized for both Amazon's algorithm and its visibility, as well as for human conversion? And that's where we focus. And we've had a lot of firsts in the space, everything from the first to integrate with ChatGPT and AI through to contextual SEO optimization and also Rufus optimization. And I think this is going to be a really interesting topic to talk through today, which is, this whole uncertainty that brands have, like, with the advent of AI, what is Amazon's algorithm doing? Is it, what is Cosmo? What is Rufus? What's the A9 algorithm? Where is Amazon in this process of optimizing for answer engines, right? Which is what AI is doing today. So what I want to do is unpack a little bit of thinking around that. And then I have a really cool offer at the end, which is the ability for us to use our technology to help you, but also do your listings for you. So we'll touch on that towards the end. But yeah, that's ZonGuru in a nutshell.
Very nice. And actually, now when you mentioned that you're often the first integrators whenever something comes up, I just kind of had a memory of us recording. I think I remember the video about ChatGPT, and now it feels it was like already like so long time ago, because there's so many developments in the space. And I mean, now also sitting here today with you and talk about Cosmo and Rufus as well. So let's see what the future also brings to us. I'm really excited to see. But I know you prepare kind of like a checklist for us and to kind of go over the topic. But first, for those who are maybe not yet into Cosmo and Rufus topic, could you just give us a very short overview? What is Rufus? What is Cosmo? And what do we need to essentially know about these two things?
Yeah, I think it's a very good question. And, the first thing I'd say is don't know exactly what it is, because Amazon's algorithm is a black box, right? So we can surmise, we can test, we can reverse engineer, and that's a lot of what we do. We have a long history of trying to understand and unpack and reverse engineer Amazon's algorithm, and we have a very sophisticated system around how we can test and see what works and what doesn't. We obviously have a deep relationship with Amazon as well, so we get a lot of insider information. But at the end of the day, it is a black box, right? And so one thing I can tell you is that, and I talk a little bit about this as we get into the slides, but there's very strong comparisons between the Google's answer engines, ChatGPT's answer engines. When you're typing in and you're asking questions and asking for recommendations or work or summaries, what is coming back there is very similar to what Amazon is trying to do in their space. So another trick there is that if you can optimize schematically in a way on Amazon that also meets what large language models are looking for, you're in a good place, right? And so that's a strong insight there. But at the end of the day, you have three things happening. You've got A9s, Amazon's historical algorithm, which is very intent keyword heavy, right? So Amazon is an intent engine. It's where you type in a keyword and you're looking for a product. You do an intent-based search and you get that. And traditionally, A9 was very, keyword orientated, right? And people say it wasn't semantic, which means, it will rank you for similar keywords to the one that people have searched. It has been for a long time, but ultimately it's very intent heavy, right? Intent keyword heavy. Where Cosmo is similar to that, where it's the balance of Amazon's always going to be an intent-based engine, but it's trying to get more sophisticated in how it ranks you. So looking a lot more at semantic type searches, mapping, and having an intelligent algorithm that will see, hey, how does your product map against certain features, experiences, etc., and then based on that mapping, therefore connect you with a bunch of intent-based searches and give you visibility around that. So it's trying to be a lot more intelligent rather than just taking its trigger and input from the keywords that are in your listing, right? So the thing I want to say there is intent-based keyword, having the quality score of your keyword is really critical, but having the mapping on top of that is important. And then Rufus is ultimately the answer engine, that you have on ChatGPT that we all use, or that we use in Google when we type in a specific search, right? Which is it's an answer engine, but it's given to you in the form of some kind of chat agents that you can engage with. But at the end of the day, if you're asking for a recommendation around a product or product features, it's going to come back with insights and recommendations, or around an experience. And how do you ensure that the summaries or the recommendations that are coming out of Rufus match what your product has in it, right? And so reverse engineering that is critical. So there's those two places. Now, where Amazon is in that linear scale between intent heavy and this new kind of AI way of optimizing is a really interesting thing to look at, because Amazon can't just shift really quickly away from how it's optimized before, because it needs visibility, it needs quality score, it needs businesses to have, or products to have, good visibility. Otherwise, sales are going to drop in ways that are not good for Amazon. So there is a balance that you have to look at, but it's certainly shifted, and you need to be prepared as a brand to ensure that your listing is enhanced for the latest changes to the algorithm, which is our specialty.
And I just wanted to say that, like, thanks to you, of course, we're super thankful that you also take this time to kind of share all of the findings you have through testing, because I just say it's not that you can open up like a website and read how it works and then do like ABC and that it will work out great for you. It requires a little bit the better understanding like of the overall picture, and then understanding those nuances as well. So thanks again for taking the time to join us and kind of give us a little bit maybe more like a checklist form, how sellers are then able to apply what's out there right now and what they should do, and kind of put it more into like an action step plan. So yeah, go ahead, share your screen, and let's go straight into that.
Great, I'll do that right now. But yeah, I think that is really important. Like, how do you optimize your listing? But importantly, once you've done it, how do you track the performance, right? And that's also a specialty that we have within ZonGuru, is like, once you have a listing, how do you track the performance and ensure that you've done the right things? So yeah, let me go ahead and share my screen. Okay, the first thing I want to just share with you as a fun thing is an unpopular opinion. I've been doing this for a minute, but I think the unpopular opinion I have here is if your listing doesn't speak AI, Cosmo and Rufus will ignore you. And I think the important thing there is, yes, it will most likely start to ignore you. There is a balance, as I said, between the A9 algorithm and where Amazon is going with the latest technologies. The most important thing is, like, if you can ensure that you have a structured schematic data set, like, not only are you optimizing for human conversion, but if you can structure your listing to match what Cosmo and Rufus are looking for, and for general AI platforms like ChatGPT and Google and Claude, etc., you have a really good chance of not only ensuring that you are well optimized for where Amazon's algorithm is going, but that you can ensure that you are visible for Amazon and beyond. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that, but there's a real opportunity to ensure that as AI starts to add shopping layers and research layers, you have to be visible as an Amazon listing for those algorithms as well. So structuring this way means that you're in a good spot. So when I say answer engine optimization, what do I mean? Which is AEO, right? Which is people ask me like, hey, what is Rufus? And I think the best way to explain it is it's very similar to what you get on Google or ChatGPT, which is this summary, right? So if you type in, hey, I've had a knee surgery and I need a knee brace, what's the best one? What features should I look at? You put that into Google, you're going to get a summary and a recommendation, and then obviously recommended products. You're going to get the same thing inside of Rufus, right? So those are very similar things. So how do you ensure that for those type of AI answer engines, you're schematically structured so it knows what to look for in your product, and you match this so that you can be recommended, right? And that's what we do on our side. This is the checklist that I'll give you. At the end, there'll be a link and we'll give you this whole checklist. And this is really like, hey, if I'm looking at a listing, what are the things that I need to be aware of and get right so that I have the maximum visibility for these answer engines? Yeah, and I talked about this, right? So, the answer engine is really, it's what Rufus is the same as what it is to Google, Perplexity, ChatGPT, right? And I think this is an important point I mentioned earlier is the risk is if you're not structured in the right way to ensure that you, are structured in the right way for Rufus, you have a chance of being deprioritized, especially as the algorithm starts to shift and put more and more weight into Cosmo and Rufus. And I think the other piece is that you have a real chance of not being ready for what's coming ahead, which is the shopping layers on, Perplexity, Google, ChatGPT. As these shopping layers come out and you can actually shop and convert on those platforms, you need to make sure that your Amazon listings are visible for them. Your Amazon listings, everything else, right? Your Shopify, etc. But if you can make sure that you're structured in the right way, you have visibility and you can convert, which is really important. Okay, so what are the things that are critical? So title and products. There are specifics around how to structure your title, brand, products, primary function, key differentiator, right? The most important thing is like, yeah, it's 200 characters, or some niches have slightly different character lengths. The first 80 characters are important, and the key thing there is that it has to be natural language. So no keyword stuffing. We all know this now. What I will tell you is that broad matching on the most relevant terms is still critical. People say, oh, Cosmo Rufus is moving away from keywords, right? But keywords are still critical, and it's all about intent-based searching. So if you can broad match and do it in a natural language way where you're not repeating keywords, you have your exact match on one or two of your main keywords, but the rest is broad matched. And AI does a really good job of broad matching across your top 20 terms. That works really well as an intent signal for the current algorithm and where it's going. So I would always ensure that you broad match. And we have technology in our platform that does that for you as well. Bullet points. I think the main thing I would say here is like the first bullet, and this is also very answer engine driven, right? Is you need to have like an executive summary almost in that first bullet. Like, what is it? Who's it for? What's your unique differentiator, right? So that first bullet is where you should be putting in an immediate summary of like, your USP as a brand and who it's for, and connect with them there. The other bullets will follow feature benefits, but always include, a feature and a benefit, like 100% bamboo, sustainable with a premium look, right? That's important. And then I would say, you need to ensure that you have semantic variety. So synonyms are really important. So you're not repeating keywords, but putting in synonyms. And importantly, I'll show you this at the end. There is a mapping for Cosmo. So how you put in your features, ensuring that you have a technical mapping for Cosmo in your bullets, and making sure that you have that quality score, so that when it's looking for that mapping, you have it available in your listing. That is a really critical step. And I have a slide towards the end that will explain what that mapping is. Product description and A+ content. One thing I would say here is like alt text. You said here alt text in your A+ images is critical. And I think that's going to become more and more important over time. You think about AI engines right now and how much money is going into the meta descriptions behind images to really teach AI what the context of that image is about. I believe that that is going to become important on Amazon and important in the future. So ensuring that wherever you have an opportunity to add metadata or alt text, etc., to images, your A+ and your carousel, that's critical. And make sure that you include your brand trust signals there, and then FAQ style questions. So if you have a clear understanding of the objections and the FAQs, making sure that you're including that in your A+ content is really important. Image and visuals, again, I think there's a narrative to be told in your images and visuals, and that's what AI reads in your images, but also the copy that you put into your images. We do a lot of work around that. And then a high-level narrative through your carousel of how do customers actually convert is important. And, making sure you have your branding, you have a unique style, that's always important. And, alt text and images is important. The thing I'd say about backend attributes, you have your search terms for sure. Alternate language names is important in your search terms, but the important thing is fill out everything in your attributes. That's nothing new. You should do it. Every field that you have in Amazon, you should fill out. There are some tricks to filling those out, but ensuring that you don't leave anything blank there is really important. Reviews and Q&A, authoritative answers, making sure that, there are ways to help with Q&A and question and answers and reviews, but ensuring that customers are continuing to fill that out, and that you are scanning those and then updating your content to match what people are asking for is important, and it's keeping it fresh with AI, right? That's critical. Long tail terms, what are those? I would say, it used to be very semantic and intent based. What long tail terms are, especially for Rufus now, is experience matching as well. So understanding the different experiences that your product may have and how it could align with those. Hey, I'm going hiking, does my product match for that, etc. Understanding what those experiences are is important, because Rufus will yes, put forward features and benefits that it believes is critical, but it'll also put you forward for different experiences. So long tail should include that as well. And then, I would say, your brand story and having a brand and a unique brand, and then having things like case studies or notable partnerships or mentions of social proof, those kind of things in your A+ content, I think is really important. And it will pick up signals on that as well. So make sure that you add that to your brand story content as well. And I think, the AI readiness maintenance means this is a really important piece that ZonGuru does, which is not only are you updating your listings, but once you're updated, how do you track the performance? And then how do you automatically as an ongoing basis, update and enhance your listings? So there's two things that are important, like measuring against the performance and seeing, hey, where are the gaps and what can I improve? And then understanding, hey, as the algorithm moves, because it is an ongoing, fast-paced, moving target, how are we continuing to optimize for that? And based on our testing and our tracking and our performance measurements, we have the ability to see what is missing, what needs to be enhanced and tweaked, and then do an ongoing maintenance to improve it. So that is a really critical thing. And the more you can stay ahead of that with your listings, the better you'll be, right? So those are important things. And again, this doesn't discount human conversion, right? Understanding as an important piece, customer sentiments, and I always come back to this, like, as fast as technology can change, don't discount your ability as a brand owner to connect with your audience. And the more you can understand your customers, what they're looking for, and presenting that to them, yes, that's good for the algorithm, but at the end of the day, if that helps with human conversion, you're in a really good spot. So don't just rely on all of the mapping and everything else if you don't truly understand what your customers want, which should inform your listings, but inform your product as well, right? So I always say that because people get distracted by this and they don't focus on their product, or really trying to understand what customers want, and therein lies your advantage, right? This is the mapping that I showed. This is direct from Amazon, but there's this idea of like, if you can ensure that you have the quality score mapping, across this map, and there's a technical way of doing this, and then mapping that technically, but then portraying that in your copy in a natural language way, which AI is very good at doing for you as a baseline, then you're in a really good spot, right? So, you know, have your products, you know, function, usage, events, audience, you know, etc. Make sure that you map against this is really important. And, you know, we do this for you. Okay, so ZonGuru, you know, you can get in. Yes, we focus on SEO. That's a big focus of us. We have different tools and technologies, everything from, you know, Rufus listing AI, you know, which, you know, we clearly have a deep knowledge in, but image AI analysis, understanding what you should be communicating in your images, both from a visual perspective and a copy piece is important. Keyword AI generator, this is still critical no matter what Amazon's or technologies is saying and how efficient it is as mapping. You know, the intent that's coming from keywords is a massive signal to Amazon. So understanding what type of keywords customers are using to search for your product is really important. And hopefully that evolves further into, you know, what kind of questions people are putting into Rufus. Yeah, that's important. Yeah, we have some technology around PPC and ensuring that you have you know, again, you know, Amazon's a black box, and a lot of PPC tools are black boxes. We believe it shouldn't be a black box, so you can learn and you can you know, give the information to it. And so we have that within ZonGuru. And then we have this bulk SEO agent, which is actually part of the offering today, which is in beta. And we basically have the ability to in bulk do your listings for you, enhance them from where it is today and all the hard work you put into your listings to where it should be, you know, right now and in the future. And we can help you do that with your listings. And that's part of the special offer today. So the special offer is, you know, we'll optimize your listings for you. So meet the moment. I know a lot of brands out there have put so much effort into their listings, their thoughts, you know, what features, benefits, what converts well. How can you then take that core essence of that listing and just enhance it for the structure, the schematic structure, and for any opportunities that are missing, and put that into your listing, and we can do that for you. So we've got a technology that we've built. It's many agents deep. We have different agents that will learn your brand tone. We have agents that will understand how to schematically match for Cosmo. You know, we have reverse engineering of what you know, what Rufus is looking for. We have you know, agents that understand the kind of keywords that are being searched for right now, this moment, and we bring all of these things together to help you produce a listing that is enhanced and optimized for Amazon's algorithm. So we'll use our technology, our team on our side, and we'll give you basically submit the ASIN that you want optimized. We'll give you before and after scores and the reasoning why it's you know, what we recommend as changes and why it's changed. And we'll give you that actual listing copy, title, bullets, backend search terms, descriptions, you know, everything that you need in that listing. We'll give it to you in a document, including a deep image AI analysis around your carousel 1 through 7 and your EBC content. We'll give you recommendations on that and copy content that you should put into those images. And we'll give that all to you in a way that you can easily upload that to Amazon. And, you know, you don't need a subscription. It's a money back guarantee, and it's $100 an ASIN. So you can submit a parent ASIN or whatever ASIN you want, and we will send it back to you fully optimized, money back guarantee that you can then implement into your Amazon listing. And if you think about the return on that $100, you know, with one ASIN that's fully optimized in the right way for now and the future, you know, how much more return are you going to get on that, right? And that's a really critical piece. I'll go back to the heartbeat of a business, you know, or of your Amazon business. If you don't have a really well optimized, schematically correct listing, you will lose out on traffic, PPC conversions, human conversions. And if you get it right, you can be in such a much better spot. So we're offering that. You just submit it on the form, and you can just go to zonguru.link/OK-optimize, orange click-optimize. Okay, and it's a special offer for the orange click audience. And you just follow the steps, and we'll optimize that for you, and you can upload that content and get maximized for meeting the moments of where Amazon's algorithm is going and beyond to LLMs and shopping platforms.
Well, I think this is an offer sellers should definitely take, because I mean, it's a clear deliverable that they will get, that the listing will be or the materials provided will be optimized the way they should. So I think a lot of people watching us today as well can kind of admit that they haven't probably looked into it yet and haven't done some sort of a listing optimization also in a while. So I would also encourage people to check it out. We're going to also have the link in the video description below. So go ahead and check it out. And to kind of end this video for the day, I know you don't have a crystal ball to kind of predict the future, but you have obviously been diving into the details and doing the tests and working with different sellers. Like, what do you think, what is kind of the next, not like big thing, but do you think there will be something kind of big happening soon that will take this whole thing to another level?
I think a challenge for Amazon is going to be the advent of shopping layers on AI platforms, and how those work well with Amazon, right? And I think that's going to be a space that has to be negotiated, and I think it could be really interesting in terms of how that evolves for Amazon. Because if you're buying on Amazon, great, but if you're and Rufus's experience has to be equal to or better than what Google or ChatGPT or everything is going to have there, right? So how do they really evolve that incredibly quickly? Which is why I think it's so critical for people to enhance their listings. And then how does Amazon offer something different, right? At the end of the day, the great thing about Amazon is that it has so much customer, purchase behavior data, right? All the way down to the level. And so if they're smart about it, they're going to use that in a way to give an experience that other platforms can't give. So I think this idea of customization, smarter engagement with Rufus, maybe automating some of your shopping behavior. I think it's already started, in the space, but, maybe being able to, for Rufus or your Amazon experience to be customized to you as an individual, I think is going to be a place that Amazon has to go and be better on. And then clearly how your products and your listings can then be visible within these other answer engines, I think is going to be a really interesting space. So those are big things that I think will start to change and happen in the space. And I think at the end of the day, voice activated search is going to be critical, right? I mean, we see how people engage with ChatGPT today or any other platforms. It's literally speaking rather than typing, and having that conversation. So those are things that Amazon has to be on top of, otherwise they're going to be left behind. So those are critical things, I think, for the future.
All right. Well, I'm sure we're gonna stay curious, and we're gonna have many, many updates coming up in the near future as well. But thanks today for sharing about where we are right now and what Amazon sellers should kind of pay attention to when it comes to Rufus and Cosmo. And thanks for also offering this checklist for the viewers as well. So thanks again, John, and I wish you all the best experimenting.
Thank you.
I hope this video will help you to optimize your Amazon product listing for Cosmo and Rufus. And if you want to try to do it using ZonGuru yourself, you'll find the link below, which will give you 7-day free trial if you're a new subscriber. And don't forget to use that link to get 20% off your plan. Also, don't forget to hit like and subscribe buttons. And if you have additional questions about the video you just watched, leave them in the comments section below, and we will make sure that ZonGuru answers them. And now I recommend you to watch another video where you will learn how to optimize Amazon product images using AI. So check this out.